Welcome to this next episode of Views of Indian Christians Expressed, Voice, an initiative of the Indian Catholic Forum, and I'm your host, Choti Bhai. Today we're going to talk about something that has been discussed and thrashed threadbare, the arrest and subsequent bail of two sisters from in Durg, sisters Vandana Francis and Preeti Mary. See, on the one hand, all sane voices, barring of course the Andhbhaks, have been unanimous in condemning the arrest of these two innocent sisters on the absurd, patently absurd charges of forced conversions, human trafficking, which actually implies prostitution. It's abominable. Because the subsequent release of them on bail by an appellate judge has given some relief, even though the bail conditions are rather draconian, like surrendering their passports and having to report to the local police station every fortnight. Of course, across the country, protest rallies were held by indignant members of the community, and that was very, very necessary to express support. But Mike, I'm going to now raise a few questions. Why only when the nuns were arrested? Because there are many pastors, lay persons who have been arrested in similar circumstances across the country. But somehow there are no rallies for them, no protests for them. And is it because these nuns were from Kerala? Because the Kerala twist has been given a lot in this entire coverage with lots of politicians, including the BJP, descending on Durg. Is it because the elections in Kerala are around the corner? That is why they have shown so much interest for these poor hapless sisters. Even the BJP is now shedding crocodile tears, which is a height of hypocrisy, considering that it's the same people whose governments have promulgated these so-called freedom of religion acts in various states ruled by them to specifically to harass the Christian community. And what about our bishops in Kerala? After cozying up to the BJP there, have they suddenly realized that it is like a leopard that cannot change its spots? And of course, the Kerala unit of the party expressing anguish at this tragic event, is like saying sorry to a dead man. Can it make him alive again? Now, this Kerala angle takes me back to another very, very tragic event that occurred in 1990 in Gajraula in UP, where three of our sisters were sadly raped. I had just been elected as the national president of the All India Catholic Union, and in a way this was my baptism by fire. Now we went there thanks to a van arranged by Sister Shalini of the Indian Social Institute in Delhi, and I was accompanied by Paul Mantosh, a member of parliament of the ruling Janata Dal, and Lenny Gonzalez, who was my secretary for Women's Affairs in the ICU. When we reached there, the Director General of Police was already there, and also Sudha Mishra, a member of the minister in the UP government. And so too was M.A. Baby of the CPM, who is now its Secretary General. After visiting them and we were returning, Lenny whispered to me that the Kerala politician was telling the sisters, let them go. And after that, we will take this up as a Kerala issue. Little did he know that Lenny was a Malayali and was conversant in Malayalam, even though her name did not indicate that. So friends, from Gajraula to Durg, history is being repeated, thereby compounding a tragedy. When I returned to Delhi from Gajraula, the CBCI center was closed because everybody had gone to the Ashoka Hotel for the cocktail farewell party of the Nuncio Augustino Cachiavillan. I was also invited, but since I had nowhere to go, I went there in my rather smelly clothes. And in the midst of that wining and dining, a few people did ask me, what happened in Gajraula? Now, I came back to my hometown But immediately I was called by Monsignor Lucio da Vega Coutinho, the Deputy Secretary General of the CBCI, asking me to rush back to Delhi to lead a protest rally on the boat club lawns. Why? Because nobody could speak in Hindi. That was on the 2nd of August. After the rally, our delegation went to meet the Prime Minister VP Singh at his residence. He was in a cabinet meeting, the same meeting in which he was removing his deputy Devi Lal. So it must have been a very delicate scenario, but nevertheless he left his cabinet meeting to meet us. And then he immediately called the Chief Minister Mulayam Singh Yadav on the hotline, directing him to provide full protection to the sisters. Sadly, which my eyewitness, that convent had a big building in the middle of nowhere, had neither boundary walls, watchmen or watchdogs. That was really inviting trouble. I then mentioned to the Prime Minister about another recent incident in my hometown Kanpur, where one of his party MLAs had locked the gates of one of our convents because of some dispute about admissions. Again, the PM directed the Chief Minister to tell that MLA to go and apologize to the sisters, which he subsequently did. Sadly, we don't have conscientious politicians like VP Singh today, and the country is the poorer for it. There's a saying, God helps those who help themselves. To expect God to protect us without taking adequate precautions ourselves is actually the sin of presumption. Now, I know it is easy to be wiser after the event, be it Gajraula or Durg, but we must learn lessons and take precautions. Firstly, we should be conversant in the local language. When we converse in a language that others don't understand, it invites suspicion. Secondly, why wear these archaic European religious habits that again attract unwarranted attention? Why can't our sisters wear saris like Mother Teresa's Missions of Charity or the local congregations of Ranchi and Krishan Nagar in West Bengal? Now, I recently traveled by train to Indore and Kolkata in this same garb that you can see me wearing, including this rather large crucifix. I don't hide it ever. Now, when I was traveling from Indore, Ujjain, the compartment was full of pilgrims going for darshan to Kashi. On my way to Calcutta, my co-passengers again were pilgrims going for darshan to Kali Mataji. Both sets of pilgrims showed me the utmost respect and even offered me food. This is not a new experience for me. I strongly feel that the vast majority of our countrymen actually have a deep respect for Christianity. But, like Mahatma Gandhi, what they have an aversion to is the often westernized portrayal of our faith. And finally, can we please stop going to impoverished Adivasi villages to collect domestic servants for our convents? Do we not trust the local populace? While expressing concern for our religious sisters, we also need to read the signs of the times, as Jesus advised us to, Matthew 16:3, and make the necessary changes or adjustments. Else, there will be many more unfortunate incidents like Gajraula and Durg. All of us really pray that it may not happen. So, dear friends, please like, subscribe, share and comment. Thank you very much and God bless you all.